Hello everyone, my name is Alex and you are watching the channel of PFS Scouting Agency. Today we have a very interesting video for tennis players because we do this video together with IMG Tennis Academy. I think many of you tennis players who are watching this video heard something about IMG because this academy was founded by Nick Bollettieri, legendary tennis coach who was a coach of sisters Williams, of Maria Sharapova, Anna Kurnikova, Andrea Agassi and many world-leading tennis players. And the person who represents IMG Academy in this video might be a person that you even heard of. His name is Yutaka Nakamura. He is strength and conditioning coach, and for 7 years he was strength and conditioning coach of Maria Sharapova. And now Yutaka is head of strength and conditioning in IMG Academy for tennis players. So we will listen to Yutaka representing Academy, sharing some tips for tennis players, how they can succeed and how they can repeat success of Maria Sharapova and other leading world tennis players. And you young tennis players should definitely pay attention to wisdom words that Yutaka will be sharing with us in this video, because he was a coach who was working with #1 tennis player in the world.
So I'm a strength and conditioning coach, then for all sports, but now especially with the tennis. And so my title at the IMG Academy is the head of tennis strength and conditioning. So I oversee all aspects of strength and conditioning, or in Europe, you call it physical training or the fitness, and from full-time academy students and over the camps, then also professional athletes, professional tennis players coming in, training at the academy, and including IMG clients. So I oversee all that. Then so I can be the consultant to the players and athletes, or I can be hands-on with the athletes and so on. So I've been in the business for 25 years, and so I was traveling with the Sharapova for a good 6 to 8 years, and then so that was, I will say that's the highlight of my career. Then so now I'm back at the IMG Academy. So this is my second year back. So that's my quick the background. Then so.
Yutaka, we prepared a list of questions from you
Okay, great. Yeah.
for tennis players that would be interested to know more about IMG and just as overall development of all their tennis sites. But to start with, I want to ask you more about IMG, because I'm sure that not all of Russian tennis players know what IMG is. So could you firstly give us some overview about IMG Academy?
Yeah, so overview of IMG Academy is a history of like a Nick Bollettieri. And founded the Nick Bollettieri Tennis Academy back in 1978. So 2 years ago, we have a 40th anniversary. So we have a long history and culture with this academy. Then also Sport and Entertainment and International Management Group and IMG purchased the academy in 1987. So then IMG acquired the youth division of, we're expanding to other sports, including the golf academy in 1993. Then added the program soccer and baseball in 94. So we continue to evolve and also developing on adding other sports. And basketball program was added in 2001. And the football also added 2010, and so is the lacrosse. And track and field and cross country also was added 2013. So currently, as of 2020, then we do have 8 sports. So tennis, golf, basketball, baseball, American football, lacrosse, cross country. Then I don't think I missed all that. Then also we call it APD. That's a division I belong. That is athletic personal development, and so to support and assist all the other sports across the academy. So it's a very unique environment that is. This is known from a tennis academy, and it's again back in 1987, but now has evolved for over the last 40 years. And so with all the other sports that involve, and this is a very special place to be part of, and lots of tradition and lots of culture, then lots of champions being produced. So I'm very proud to be be part of it.
Yutaka, and why you decided to be a part of IMG Academy? Because you have pretty impressive resume for tennis coach, and why did you choose to work particularly in IMG?
First of all, the IMG, I truly believe in this is the biggest tennis academy in the world, meaning that we do have over 220 the full-time students living on campus and over the course for like 9 months out of the year. Then practicing and playing matches and competing and day in, day out. So this is the biggest, and also this is multi-sport complex that we have 7 other sports that are involved. So we are developing and also assisting the tennis players, but also we are also developing the characters and also personalities and being a good human being. And so I think training and also spending some other time with other athletes, other sport, I think they have a lot to be learned, and also other athletes gonna learn a lot from us as a tennis. So I think this is a great, very unique environment that we kind of learn and also pushing each other.
Yutaka, now we will get to our main part of conversation. To ask you about some tips and ideas that young tennis players can use to develop themselves. And you, as primarily as a strength and conditioning coach, can you say why and how strength and conditioning is important for athlete and how it can change his tennis career to get to the next level?
All as a strength and conditioning to the sport, especially the tennis, is 2 components that we can talk about. One is a performance enhancement, that is you improve their performance on the court. So how fast they can generate the force and how fast they can move and how hard they can hit the ball. As we all know, that is tennis have a long season. And when we're talking about professional athletes, that they have a long season starting from January all the way through November. So they play 11 months out of the year. Then they play good 25 to 30 weeks. So there's a lot of matches and there's a lot of stress coming to the system, coming to the body, both mentally and physically. So our role again is to improve their performance, but also injury prevention. And so also education, then how important, and we also addressing why we're doing this. And then also we getting to know how and what.
Yutaka, and from what age do you think tennis players should pay attention to his physical and mental preparation?
As young as they start playing sport, I think it's a sport. It's obviously strength and also conditioning, also mental conditioning, nutrition, and all the other discipline that we provide from APD, athletic personal development. It's a very great asset to build the characters and also athleticism. So obviously sport and tennis requires a lot of hours on the court. There's a lot of techniques that involve forehand, backhand, serve, return, overheads. It's hours, countless hours that are required, but also like what I said, like a strength and conditioning, nutrition, mental conditioning. This is a huge asset to improve the game more of learning from what we offer from off the court.
And also you mentioned about nutrition. When kids are young, let's say under 18, basically most of the kids can eat whatever they want and they don't care. They don't get weight. They can eat McDonald's or whatever. So what do you would say about nutrition for tennis players? Also, from which age you should pay attention to nutrition and how nutrition can influence your game and your performance?
Nutrition is a huge part of success in the world of tennis. Then, as we all see, for example, like Roger Federer and Serena Williams and Maria Sharapova just retired, but they all in 30s. So we didn't see that happen like really 10 years ago. So when you're talking about Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi and Monica Seles, there's like a Mary Pierce, and those generation, the older generation, they peak at age of 30 or maybe earlier. But nowadays, including Rafa just turned 34 2 days ago, and he's 34 years old, and he's still like priming his career. I think it's a huge part of it is because of nutrition. So we consider that athletes like a Formula One car. that it's a high performance car, so you need a high performance fuel. Then obviously nutrition, we treat it as a more like a fuel, just not just eating, also providing the energy. So obviously we do need a carbohydrate, protein, veggies and fruit, and also the fat, and then we all need, and it's all components to fulfill the performance. So it's not just going to McDonald's, it's just eating those junk food, and if you're eating those unhealthy the fuel into the system, then the body will not accept. And so it's I think to be a champion, you gotta eat like a champion, you gotta act like a champion. So nutrition is very important.
And Yutaka, from your experience with working with top players who are became one of the biggest stars in tennis, like let's say Maria Sharapova, because for us, I mean for Russians, she's one of the biggest sports stars. What can you say? How she? What allowed her to become such a great player? Because there are a lot of similar players who are have same talent, have same, I don't know, body, skill, whatever, but she was number one for a long time, and someone didn't even got closer. What separated her and what made her the player that she was?
I think she really separated herself from the rest on the tour because she wants it. Then she also differentiated herself from all the others because she's hungry to win. Then also her perseverance, then she doesn't give up. Then also she shines. She knows she's a tennis player. She knows where she shines is when she step on the court. So how she step on the court, even not only like was when she walk onto the center court, the US Open or the Wimbledon, that even she, how she approach when she warm up before the practice. Also when she walk onto just practice court, she can go to court 31, like middle of nowhere, nobody's watching how she practices, but how she prepares herself and day in, day out, it's priceless. She gives 120% every day. This is very easy to talk about, but it's very hard to do. But over the course of 8 years with Maria, I never felt that she really, taking the shortcut. Then also she said, I don't feel well, then, let's make it, easy today. And she always give 120%. And also she's very hungry, she's very perseverance, and it's just like her attitude to get better every day, day in, day out. I think just because of her attitude that she want to reach a goal. So I think just like, that mental toughness was her strength.
Yutaka, and for this mental preparation, for this mental strength, is it only inborn thing, or you can develop it somehow? Because not everyone born with such thing.
Yes, I think that can be developed, including athleticism, also strength and conditioning. And some athletes are born with like really very special, the talented, gifted, but also especially the mindset that is like you can create your mindset to be positive. It is such a simple thing to do, but on the court there's a lot of unexpected, there is a wind, there is a surface, and there is a people walking around before you serve, and there is a lot of uncontrollable things going on. So you get to control what you can control. Then also to make sure you get a specific to what you want to achieve on a daily basis. So all the thing is just you have to be clear of what you want to do. What you want to do with the tennis, what you want to do with your talent, and what you want to do with your mindset, what you want to do with the physicality. So I think just like understanding who you are and what you are, and also how do you want to get to the goal, then also the process, then also it is some day, some time in the day that you can just talk to yourself, just write it down, like what you want to do, then also communicate with the coaches, communicate with maybe the parents, maybe also communicate with yourself. I think those little things will help to make things clear, what you want to, why you're doing it.
And also talking about I think more mental preparation than physical. Right now, when it's very hard to practice because of this virus situation and there is no
Yes.
games, nothing, I think many players can lose their motivation to do something
Yes.
because it's nothing to currently work for and very hard to practice. Can you give any tips or ideas for young tennis players of how to stay motivated during this tough period?
First of all, you have to understand it. This is tough for everybody. That's including myself, and then also including the really like a Roger Federer, and including the Rafael Nadal. But you don't hear that they're complaining. So I think that's very important. That, and when you look at it, really the great athletes of all time competing on the court and day in day out, there might be some struggles and difficulty they faced, and they show some face and maybe not very positive attitudes, but they minimize that. They try to stay positive. They try to find a way, then build a routine. Then you wake up at the same time, you go to bed at the same time. Okay, I think improving like athleticism also to become a tennis player is not just play tennis. It's just more like a building the characters and also building identify who you are and what you are. So I think building a routine on a daily basis is very important. So sleep patterns are obviously important. Then also pay attention to the nutrition. Then obviously you don't understand what nutrition is, and talk to the parents, talk to your mom, talk to your dad, and talk to your sister. And also maybe you can research. Okay, you can go to the internet and you're gonna find out what really proper nutrition is, or even proper training, and you can reach out to others. I think there's nowadays is like an internet and also social media, and that is a great source that available to you. So I think it's just staying positive and or try to reach out to people that even you don't know who they are and what they are, and then try to find a way to get an answer.
Mm-hmm. And Yutaka, for another topic that I wanted to discuss with you is college placement for tennis players, because I think most of tennis players want to go to American universities in order to combine sports and education. So can you give any tips of how international tennis players can better prepare for American universities in order to get better chances to get recruited?
You can reach out to the coaches directly. So if you are looking to advance your career in college, then just reach out to the college coaches. You go to their website, they go to the university, then go to the athletics, then go to the tennis, both men and women. There's a head coaches, there's a list of coaches that are available to you. So you just click and link and click that, just reach out to the coaches that are, then also you can send out obviously the letter, then also your plan, then just having the networking yourself and also communicating, and just show that, what you're interested in.
Also, I want to ask more about IMG, because IMG is very big and serious academy, and I think it's really unique academy for all the sports, because it's something like a high-level university. What do you think makes IMG unique for all the athletes who are interested to study in America?
Our strength at the academy is a size. We do have 1,300 full-time students last year, 2018, 2019. Then it's from like over 70 countries that are involved. So this academy is, because of that many numbers that are involved, is very competitive. So it's a way that you have to speak up for what you need and what you want. And so it's like, obviously we as a staff, we provide the service and also giving the program. Okay, this is for you, but also you have to know how to communicate with the coaches. You have to know how to communicate with others, so I think it's just like, this is our strength. It's just very highly competitive, but also at the same time, the staff are very kind and we know their needs. And so we also make ourselves available to the students, also the parents. So we obviously, they have a system that it's like creating a competitiveness, but also just some kind of care that they need from our end.
And basically the last thing that I wanted to ask you is for you to share some also tips for success for young players. What would you recommend young players to become next, Federer or Maria Sharapova?
Get yourself out of the comfort zone. That is the most important tips that I can give to, including myself, and to all the young generation. That it's how you prepare yourself and how you practice and how you educate yourself. I think we all have a kind of routine, but that's what you know, that's what you feel comfortable with. So just get yourself out of what you are. Then I'm not saying just traveling to the US and come to the IMG Academy. That's maybe one of the options, but even just go to the other local clubs, just meeting different people and also practice with different people, different the rivals, and just talking to others, different just getting stimulated and getting some knowledge from usually what you don't get from the routine that you created. So I think just to stay hungry and stay disciplined, but also get yourself out of the comfort zone and just to be great.
Guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope Yutaka's tips were useful for you. If you have any question, please write it in the comment. And if you are interested to study in IMG or any other American or European tennis academies, leave a request on our website and we will reach you out for help. See you next time on our next videos.